Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Monday, the 24th of Safar 1445, corresponding with the English date 11th of September 2023. Hazrat Wala starts off this Majlis with the ayat of the Quran Majid, Yuridu Allahu bikumul yusra wa la yuridu bikumul usr. Hazrat Wala is saying this kitab, referring to the kitab that he has in front of him, from which he is reading At-Tanweer fi Isqat At-Tadbir. Hazrat Wala is saying that Hazrat Haji Imdadullah said to Maulana Tanwi that Ashraf Ali, carry out this tarjuma. Ashraf Ali, do this tarjuma, it will be of great benefit to the people. Now Mauli Sher Mohammad came and he gave this kitab. What to tell you people, I spent that safar in studying this kitab so deeply. More than that, we looked for the Arabic so much, and Alhamdulillah, at 2 a.m. in the morning, we found this particular kitab. The kitab is of a very great personality, Sheikh Ibn Ataullah Iskandari. And then after that, you have someone, a personality like that of Hazrat Tanwi doing the tarjuma. So then what can you say? Nurun ala nur. So Hazrat Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam comes, and what does he do? He carries out a good deed, an act of virtue. In what sense? Towards the daughters of Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam, and he did not intend from them that he would receive. He had no hopes or even thoughts in his heart that he is going to get any type of reward in exchange of that. It was only and solely for Allah, and neither did he request and ask for some type of compensation. Rather, he gave them to drink the water, and he watered their animals as well. And then he turns towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he asks from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he did not ask from the two of them. He asked from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Zat and that being, that whenever he is asked, then he gives. And a Sufi, in the true sense, is man yuwaffa min nafsihi, the one who fulfills the rights that are on his shoulders, on his head, but he does not ask what is due to him. That is a Sufi in the true sense. So Musa alayhi salatu wassalam then fulfills that right. He asks for nothing in exchange, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him the most greatest and the most complete reward. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him something earlier, speeds it up for him and shows it to him in this dunya over and above that which he has stored for him in the akhirat. In what sense? That he weds him and to one of the daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam. Rather, he makes him the son-in-law of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam, the Nabi of Allah, and he acquaints him to all of this until such a time comes when he is blessed with Risalat himself. Therefore, do not make your matter and do not put your matter with anyone else other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, O servant. And if you do this, that you do not put your matter with with anyone else other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will be from amongst those who profit well, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will honor you in the manner that he honors his saintly and his pious servants. So here we're going on, and Hazrat Wala speaking about this year, he says that he gives some waqia. Hazrat Wala is saying, once I was traveling abroad, and this is what happens. We see here on the side that a car has overturned or is stuck or something has happened there. And in no time, you see how people start flocking there around in the name of helping this person whose car is stuck there or had overturned. Now all these people turned out to be Christians, as opposed to what I seen in the very same safar, that one of our people, his shakal and surat was that of a Maulvi and an Alim. And what happens? He's fallen down, he's flat down on the floor with his bicycle, or maybe it was his scooter or something. But hundreds are passing by, but not one person of our people stopped to say, hey, what happened? Well, what's happening here? Look at this person. Not one. You know, Maulana Ismail Bhuta is speaking about this lady who had sat in the aircraft coming from where and where, nevertheless absolutely hungry, and of course she just boarded the aircraft and she's saying, please, can't you give me some food? And then they say to her that, listen, you just got onto the aircraft, there's no food now. Nevertheless, Maulana Bhuta Sahab is looking at all of this here and calculating that he took out his own food, what we would say the patkos, or what he had brought from home, his own food, some chicken cooked very well with a beautiful aroma, zafran, etc., saffron. He opens that, and what can you say about that there? The entire aircraft was then of that particular scent of that food. But can you imagine and understand the impression of that lady who needed help at that time, saying that, listen, I'm hungry, I just need something to eat now. And they're telling her, no, it's not the time for eating now. So what was it? Islam or Isayat ka muqabala. Nevertheless, this lady was absolutely then impressed with this type of akhlaq which came from an individual of the Islamic faith. Hazrat Wala then remarks, after quoting these incidents, that मालूम हुआ किसी की मदद करना अल्लाह का बहुत पसंद है. That to help someone is very dearly and deeply appreciated and loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like how you just heard from this entire incident of Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, that just on the basis of helping the daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam, how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had then given him. You know, there was this Arab, and he used to feed people. They used to be deaf ones there, some were dumb, some were blind. More than that, there were so many there who were absolutely mentally decapacitated, mad people, people whose brain function was next to nothing. And somebody passed the remark that, Hazrat, you feed these people, but they don't even know that you are feeding them. And he replied so beautifully. Allama Sharani has even written of this incident. He says, yes, they do not know, but their Rabb knows. Their Rabb knows what is happening. They don't know, but their Rabb knows. Allahu Akbar. To extend and to do good to the next person. वो नहीं जानते, लेकिन उनको रब को पता है, उनको रब को मालूम है. And on this side here, what's happening? A person is flat down. Something has happened. He's off his conveyance, his bicycle or his scooter. But nobody even stopped to ask what happened or to present any type of help whatsoever. So look here. That Allah Ta'ala says, فَسَقَى لَهُمَا ثُمَّ تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ. Musa alayhi salatu wassalam presented water to them, and their flock or their animals, whatever it was there. ثُمَّ تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ. Thereafter, he returned and went and sat in the shade. Now from this here we learn that it is permissible for a mu'min to give preference to shade over the hot scorching sun, and preference to cold water over hot water, and preference to the easier of the options and the paths, the easier of the one, as opposed to the more difficult and the more tricky and the harder one. And all of this here will not take him out from the level of Zuhd. Allahu Akbar. Allah Tara, do you not see how Allah Ta'ala presents this and informs us about Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, that he turned and he went to sit in the shade. He intended that, and he went and he sat in the shade. He did not go and said, I'm going to do mujahada and go and sit in the sun. Now, if you say that it has come regarding, okay, let's continue. So here Hazrat Wala is saying that our mu'amalat and mu'asharat is of absolute importance. Our dealings and our social conducts, interaction with others. You know, Hazrat Tanwi has written in Adabul Mu'asharat, in the preface or the foreword there of that kitab, he says that you'll still find some amount of akhlaq, ta'aleem of akhlaq, but very little you would find ta'aleem of adab and etiquettes. Now Hazrat Tanwi is saying this here, and he was turning the attention of the people that even in the khanqahs you would find ta'aleem of akhlaq, but you're not finding ta'aleem of adab and etiquettes. And you would find so many things that he has mentioned here. You would find so many things that he has mentioned in the kitab. A person comes and then he would take knock on the door. You know, you would have that kundi, that steel piece which people would bang onto the wooden door. He would bang it so hard. Now, he bangs it so hard. He bangs it so hard that there's taklif. I mean, a person could have been reading salat, somebody could have been making istinja, etc. You know, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab was so particular about these things. A person would walk in quietly and then he would come and sit down and say the salam so softly. Or maybe not even say the salam. He would ask that person then to leave. And then he would say, did you make salam? How did you enter? Shouldn't you say, Assalamu alaikum, adkhul, Assalamu alaikum, may I enter? Allahu Akbar. These were the adabs, etc. that he taught the people. So then you would find some person there that now he has his earthen pots there filled with water, and after a while you start seeing that the sun starts moving, so that earthen pot of water now is out of the shade, and now the sun is directly upon it. So it said to him that about this year. Then he says and he answers that no, at that time when I put the pots there, it was in the shade, and now presently I actually feel ashamed to walk for the portion of my nafs. Fa'lam rahimakallah. Oh no. No, well, may Allah have mercy on you. This type of hal and takalluf, formalities that this person was doing, etc., and he was preventing himself or his own nafs from its own right, was not actually taking him and putting him into ghaflat regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather, if his maqamat and his darajat were mukammal and complete, then he would have taken that pot and he would have moved it out of the sun and put it into the shade again, because by doing that he would have been actually practicing on the hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he would have not been practicing on any portion of his nafs. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about this in the Quran Majid. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah ta'ala intends ease for you and does not intend difficulty for you. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَن يُخَفِّفَ عَنْكُمْ. Allah ta'ala wishes that he lightens the burden from you. وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. And man has been created weak. Therefore, the fuqaha have even gone up to the extent of saying, if a person takes an oath that I will walk to the Kaaba barefoot, it is completely permissible for him then to put on his sandal and his shoe. And it is not necessary for him to walk barefoot, because the maqsad of the Shariat is not to bring intentional burden and difficulty upon oneself. Rather, the Shariat has not come so that it can prevent you from some amount of comfort also. Rather, this type of comfort and pleasure has been created specially for you. Allahu Akbar. So, what a wonderful kitab. Ashraf Ali, make tarjuma of this kitab. It will be of great benefit for the people. This is what his mentor, Hazrath Haji Imdadullah Rahimahullah, has mentioned. You know, he goes on to say, also, he goes on to say that Ashraf Ali drink cold water, so that from every hair on your body, the shukr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will then emanate and come out. You will thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so deeply from every vein, from every portion of your body. You know, we heard this from Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb, that on one occasion it started raining. And there was this person who was wearing some clothes. And what happened there, he said, and he mentioned, the rain started, people started going this way and that way, but he performed his salat comfortably, and after the salat he went off, he put on another set of clothes and he came. So Hazrat Tanvi then said, for people like this here, it is absolutely permissible to wear such clothes, meaning their nazar is not on their clothes in any way. Rabi ibn Ziyad al-Harithi says to Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, help me with my brother Asim. He says, what's up? What's the problem? He says, you know, he fastens a blanket around his waist and he puts another blanket around his body. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala says to them that summon him and bring him to me. So he's brought and he comes in this very way, that a blanket fastened around his waist and another blanket around himself, and his hair is completely disheveled, his beard is all going in different directions, etc. And Ali radiallahu ta'ala then frowns in his face, in front of him directly, and says to him, what a sorrow, grief, regret, woe be to you. Don't you feel ashamed that you go in front of your wife like this? Don't you have mercy on your children? Do you not see that Allah Ta'ala has made permissible for you the tayyibat? and you dislike to take a portion from it? Have you not seen what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned? وَالْأَرْضَ وَضَعَهَا لِلْأَنَامِ, that this earth, that Allah ta'ala has made it for you, for insan. And then the author then goes on to say, right up till the qawl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يَخْرُجُ مِنْهُمَا الْلُؤْلُؤُ وَالْمَرْجَانِ. So do you not see that Allah ta'ala has made permissible for His servants so that they may use it and so that they may thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they would be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you're using the ni'mats of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually greater than thanking Him verbally. You are using it, you are appreciating it. So Asim then answers, and he says, after Ali radiallahu ta'ala reprimands him and teaches him about the whole matter, what does he say to him? He says, then Amirul Mu'mineen, what about your state? And look at the coarse clothes you eat, you are wearing, and look at the simple foods that you eat. So aren't you in the same category? Ali radiallahu ta'ala and then says to him, you haven't understood anything. Allah ta'ala has made it necessary for us as imams of haqq that we come down to the level of the common masses and the common people, and we are not higher than them. That's so much so that even the poorest of the lot would then feel comfortable to come and sit with us and would not understand and feel awkward if he comes. So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, here, it's made clear from Ali radiallahu ta'ala's qawl that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not asking the servants to abandon these ladhat and these pleasures, etc. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to them that use it, have it, enjoy it. However, make shukr for it. Kulu min rizqi rabbikum washkuru lah. Eat from the rizq of your Rabb and make shukr to Him. Allah Ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum washkuru lillah. Allah Ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhar rusul kulu min at-tayyibat wa'malu saliha, etc., etc. It goes on. So here Hazrat Wala is saying, this tariq is mumahad, this tariq is muayyad, completely substantiated this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Quran and with Sunnat. Therefore, we should not do such things, and we should not say such things, due to which tariq and this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes, suluk and tasawwuf becomes bad because of us. Look at how much of wus'at there is just from this entire article which we have read out to you today. So the tariq, this path, suluk towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's open, it's explained to us, it's right here in front of us. So make consideration of this tariq and this path, this ulum and this knowledge. What is it all about? And accordingly make amal on it, due to which you will be blessed with the proximity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala bless us with عافية الدارين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.